Well, hello, Catherine Langman here, back with you on the Productpreneur Success podcast. Welcome to the show if you are a new listener, and of course, welcome back to all our long-time listeners. Now, recently on the show, I have been talking about various things that you can be doing in your business now in order to prepare yourself, to have the most successful end to the year possible, particularly considering we are now about to head into the busiest sales period of the year for e-commerce. And a big part of this does really need to be really making sure that your website is going to do you justice, so that you don't lose out on any potential sales in the coming months. And things really have changed a lot in internet land and with websites. Of course, everything in life has changed in recent times. But, in the last year, the way that consumers buy online has definitely changed. And partly this is functional. A much bigger proportion of consumers are now shopping and completing their purchases from their mobile devices. So really having an exceptional mobile experience on your website is more important than it ever was before. Partly it's also, the kinds of marketing, content, and messaging that influences customers to buy now compared to in the past is different. Partly it's that different products are now in demand, of course, now that we're not stuck in long lockdowns and working from home. And I think partly also there's a shift in consumer sentiment post-pandemic where, a lot of us are looking for a little bit of entertainment and maybe a little bit of certainty somewhere in our life. So, all of these things kind of converge and impact the way business works. Which is a bit of a long-winded lead into the topic for today, which is, of course, about about upgrading your Shopify website to Shopify 2.0, which I know some of you have done, but a lot of you haven't yet. So today's episode is going to be all about the benefits for your business of doing this now versus waiting until closer to Christmas or maybe the new year. But also about using the opportunity to refresh your website design or content or layout to try and improve that user experience for your customers in the current climate. And of course, how to go about doing this in the right way. So joining me to go through this topic today is Narelle Spencer from my agency team. And Narelle has managed many Shopify design and build projects for our clients, including upgrades to Shopify 2.0 in recent times. So I'm super keen to get her back on the show. She hasn't been on the podcast for several months now, so it's time to get her back on the show anyway. And we're going to go through this topic together. Now, before we do dive further into this episode, let me share with you how you can get your hands on a really awesome free resource that will help you to grow your business and also to set yourself up for the best possible results heading into the end of the year. So this is for you if you feel like you have no real idea about what marketing you need to be doing, or if you're really just feeling a little bit overwhelmed by what to do and how to go about it. So if you really want to create that sort of goal-crushing marketing plan for your online store, then go ahead and download a free copy of my Ultimate E-commerce Marketing Planning Guide. So this is a free resource, and I step out for you 5 steps that are a really effective way to create a effective marketing plan for your online store and ultimately having you rocking your growth goals for the end of the year. So to get your copy today, just head to catherinelangman.com/planning where you can get instant access today. Okay, so without further ado, let's welcome Narelle onto the show and find out how and why we should be updating to Shopify 2.0 and the benefits of really, doing this in your business today. Welcome back to the show, Narelle. I can't believe it's been quite a while since we had you on here.
Feels like it was only yesterday. I think this year's going very, very fast.
Speed of light. So we're going to have a bit of a conversation about Shopify 2.0 and updating or upgrading a website to Shopify 2.0, because obviously it's been around for a little while now. And we do see people thinking they can just hit the update button and it's all going to be easy and the website will stay looking the same. And that doesn't seem to happen. And then it's a bit of a job to fix it. So
well, I think that's probably the biggest freak out, because it does. I mean, there's lots of documentation around that talks about, upgrading to Shopify 2.0 and how simple it is. But the reality of it, you're right, as soon as you do it, you actually lose all the customization that you've already done for your website. So you'll get basically a blank canvas.
Yay, which I'm sure is very confronting for those who didn't realize that would happen. So
Yeah.
let's try and make it a little bit easy for people today. And I guess to start us off, do you want to kind of tell listeners what is Shopify 2.0? Like, what is that all about? I mean, I've just said it's been out for a little while, but probably lots of people don't really understand what it is.
Yeah, so Shopify 2.0 is essentially like an operating system upgrade. So like your phone and sort of apps and things like that have to go through updates now and then. This was essentially the same thing. Now, Shopify does this all the time. There's always small updates that happen in the background. But this was a major one where it was a full code change for everyone. So basically in the back end, they moved from a coding called Liquid and they moved to JavaScript. And what that really means for the user is that it allows you to have the flexibility to change things more easily within the theme customization area. And then it also helps the speed of your website. And that's really, really important from an SEO point of view. So for Google, one of the key performance indicators that they're using now is speed and usability. So in the good old days, it used to be about, keyword stuffing, not that we would ever do that.
Not now.
And making sure that, there's just those keywords on the page to rank better. Now they're looking at other things like, how well does your site load, how quickly, what speed it is and things like that. So it is
especially on
important.
mobile, right?
Yeah, and especially on mobile. And I mean, with probably 80 to 90% of users actually using mobile to purchase through e-commerce stores, it's really important to look at that. And, the code that they're now using on Shopify, it's, mobile first, really. So that's probably another thing. Like in the past, it's been around finding themes that are mobile first. I mean, theme is also important, theme short. But, the platform is more moving towards ensuring that all of these things are kind of built in now so that Google recognizes that there's a good platform to be on.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I guess in answering that question that way, you've already led us to realize why it would be important to start upgrading if people haven't already. And I know that a lot of people haven't. I think, your website kind of falls into one of those things that often, you tick it off your to-do list and then you think, okay, that's done. I don't have to do that again. And then it doesn't get touched for years other than uploading new products, which of course isn't good in the long term. So in terms of updating or upgrading to Shopify 2.0, why would it be a good idea for people to do it now?
So good idea now is because it's been around for a year now, so that upgrade to 2.0. So, essentially when it first came out as well, it was probably a little bit buggy, but we're well and truly past that phase of those bugs. So it's a much easier transition. But, secondly, we're going into peak buying season. So you want to make sure that you are on the best platform and, using the tools that are accessible to you to ensure that you're going to have a great, successful selling season. So, with Shopify 2.0, it has one of the great features was sections everywhere. So that essentially was where you would like build your homepage normally, and you could add in the sections to present, the benefits of your business or product and in different ways. And adding images and adding video and adding testimonials. Well, now you can do that across the whole sort of platform. So every single page you can do that on. You can do it on a product page. You can do it on, just landing pages. And I guess that, prior to now, not a lot of people were utilizing landing pages as much as they should be. Just because you would have to plug in another app or something like Simplified Pages or something like that to create these beautiful landing pages. Now it's actually very accessible just in your standard themes. So, and I think that's quite important, especially when you've got paid advertising, ads, things running like that. So you want to come through to a page that's actually more information than just, buy my product.
Yeah, exactly. You've got that, you can kind of take people through that sales or buyer journey a little bit, with all of the different types of information that help influence a purchase, like you were saying before,
And also, these landing pages are great from a, offer perspective as well. So, if you are, got some offers on that are like buy one, get one free or something, you can sort of showcase those products together on a page, again, making it really super easy for people to just sort of click and add to cart from one single page.
Yeah.
So I think that's really important to make it a quick journey as well for customers, leading
Absolutely.
to that endpoint as quickly as possible.
Not too many clicks, definitely. No, that's awesome. So really, I guess, are there any other benefits as well about updating to 2.0? I know you've spoken behind the scenes about the original Shopify version not being quite as appealing to Google for organic search, and I'm sure there's other benefits to upgrading as well.
Yeah, I mean, they're the main ones for like an SEO perspective, but the other thing it actually has as well, from a building kind of perspective and adding information for customers, is meta fields. And some people might have heard that before. And
probably people don't know. A lot of people wouldn't know what that is, though.
No. So essentially what they are is adding more information, dynamic information to pages. So a lot of the time they tend to be added to product pages. So a great user case for that was when we built out the retrospect website. One of our clients who's in apparel, retro sort of 50s wear, really
Yes.
gorgeous website. So she had she's got a really large catalog of dresses, but on each of these dresses pages, like there's information that is unique to that dress only. So what it was made from, or even the size guide. So each dress had a different size guide. So we used meta fields in that case, and so essentially it placed fabric information. It was a drop down that she could access in the back end on the product page, and she could pick which fabric it was made from, and then that shows dynamically on the front end. So you're not having to create all of these sort of theme pages in the old, like on the 2.1 version. Yeah, we would have to create a actual page for that one dress so that we could have dynamic information. Now we actually just add the meta field and we place that on that product page, and then we pull the information in from behind the scenes in the product description area, essentially. You can use images, you can put video in, you can, like I said, you can do the drop down, or you can just add extra information. So if you wanted to do unique small descriptions for each of your products, again, you would just drop that meta field onto the actual theme template and then pull the information in from products. So yeah, really, really good and really versatile, making it much easier, like for the person, like the owner, I think, now to be able to create these unique pages.
And without spending extortionate amounts of time on it, by the sound of things, you could really streamline it.
And also, like, prior to now, it was always custom coded. So you could do that sort of things, but it was a lot of custom coding. Now you can set this up yourself and add those in quite easily. So very versatile.
Love it. I guess if you are upgrading to 2.0, and like we were saying at the start, how it's not like you just press the update button and whatever was there before stays the same. Essentially, you have to really be, rebuilding a lot of it from scratch. So this would present a really good opportunity then, I guess, to redesign things, maybe give your website a refreshed design refresh as well.
Definitely. I mean, I think this is a real benefit. I mean, a lot of people, have gone and down this road and clicked the button and gone freak out. No, this is a great opportunity. Like, I mean, there's so much that can be done at this point. Like I think you mentioned that, we all sort of build a website and then forget about it. But, we should think of it like a bricks and mortar store. The front window never stays the same. It's always being updated to ensure that, people who pass by get a fresh look. And, if you've got customers who are repeat buyers, it's nice to be refreshing the website for them to come back and see something new. But also at the same time, if you've had your site for, more than 12 months, you really get a sense of what's working and what's not working. So, that not working needs to be fixed at this point. There's no point in, doing this work to upgrade your website and rebuilding it the same when, you're probably getting questions from customers all the time that you're constantly answering. If you can actually rectify that on your website, maybe it's about adding that extra information on a product page or on the homepage so people don't email you. That's a job for you. You don't have to keep responding to these emails.
That's so true. Yeah. I guess also something that that I've noticed a lot from a sales marketing perspective with a lot of our clients and audience is that just generally speaking, the stuff that would work and convert into sales and revenue 12 plus months ago, it's just not the same now. So I think we all need to be doing things and adapting to this new climate that we are all operating in. So yeah, I guess getting another taking the opportunity to update the look and feel, maybe looking at the user experience, the navigation and all that kind of stuff, and really just trying to improve it for how things are now.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, I guess that probably 12 months ago or more, a lot of the functionality was coming from apps. So it's a great opportunity as well to either look at, whether you've got the right theme for you. Like if you've got lots of apps, it might be a case that your theme just isn't the right theme for you. So there'll be better themes out there that'll allow that usability within the theme, so you don't have to have an app slows website down. So the more apps you have, the slower the site will be. So if you can get that functionality from a good theme, paid themes, you'll find better functionality. Turbo's always our favorite. They always have good functionality in there. One of the painful things I have to admit was tabs was never there, but it's there now. So, that's definitely gone. And they've even got a new functionality for shop the look type thing. So you can have a photo. Awesome. It's just recently launched. You have a photo and you tag the photo to the products and they can add to cart straight from that photo. So, I mean,
that's very cool.
Yeah, I feel like it's like an apparel thing, but I said, like, the more I think about it, for bundles and things like that, it's certainly a good thing to have on your website. So Turbo's a good one. I've also for other themes, because I'm always asked about themes, I've had a little play around with Impulse, which is a good theme, another paid theme, and the other one that we built retrospect on was Khalees. But my only caveat with the Khalees one is I feel like it is really designed for developers. There's got so much functionality in there that if you're just basic store owner who doesn't have a lot of coding skills, or you might feel quite overwhelmed by it. So I'd stick with I'll go towards a paid theme because it'll be better for you. And Turbo is one of our favorites. So
yeah, and they do keep it updated as well, which is a good thing for.
And their support's really good too.
It is excellent. Okay, so for those who are going to bite the bullet and get stuck into this, how should people go about updating, and what should they kind of keep in mind when updating to Shopify 2.0?
Yeah, so I guess that, if you've liked the theme that you were on and you have no qualms with it, I would just go straight back to the theme that you were already on and then go to the support for them. They should have a 2.0 version, which you can update to. So you download that and then, plug it into your website. And again, once you do that, it'll be a matter of, putting everything back in again. Not all your products or anything like that, not all your collections, that's all there. It's just what you see on screen. But, if you've been thinking for a bit that it might be time for a bit of a theme upgrade, I would write the wish list first. What is it that hasn't worked for you? What is it that you've liked? And then, when you're looking through the themes, because there's hundreds out there, see which one best fits without having to have lots of apps in there. So do the homework first. And, think about as well, what are those things that, when you've been online shopping that have really made the experience good for you? Can you incorporate those in your website to make sure that, that you are actually, you're not just upgrading your website, you're actually taking your website a few steps forward? Because if you're not taking a few steps forward at this point, when you're doing a theme upgrade, you'll be behind again everyone else. Yeah. So it's really important to think about that.
Yeah, that's so true. I guess also just as a note for everyone, make sure you take a copy of it before you start building something new, just in case you need to wind it back. Last week I was doing, as you know, Narelle, I was doing some judging for the Osmompreneur Awards in the e-commerce category. And I also came across a couple of businesses that were doing things really creatively. And so there was one, I'm not going to share any names because obviously no one's been announced yet, but there was one who is in fashion, women's fashion. And they also, one of the owners does a lot of modeling for their own range, and obviously that goes on their socials and on their website and that sort of thing, but she's also gotten involved in actually modeling for these range. It's really hard to say this without kind of giving away who it might be.
And if anyone's listening, I'm sure, and they know this brand, they'll know exactly who it is.
I know they probably will, but it's like, in terms of being able to kind of set your brand apart as being the leader of the pack, so to speak, and the go-to place to get this kind of thing, finding little ways like that to set yourself apart from the competition. So it's not just showing the same wares, because they're a retailer, so they are selling a lot of the same brands as other retailers might be. So that was one I thought was really creative. Another one, they do have a physical space as well, and they have in-person like experiences in there, but they've built in ways to kind of extend that to the online experience as well, which is really kind of creative and exciting. And I guess, that particular one, they are based in Melbourne, which of course most people would know had extremely long lockdowns and harsh conditions. So, if they started with those in-person experiences and then weren't able to do them, it obviously makes sense to try and emulate some sort of experiential version of it online. So again, but just making it a really fun destination website to come to. So I really think that there are trends towards, bringing that sort of thing to the online experience. And if anything, the climate we're in now, people want a little bit of entertainment and escapism, and they also want a little bit of certainty in their life somewhere.
And some CLC as well. That's what a lot of that is, isn't it? It's bringing it back, like, customer support. I think that maybe there was a time that websites were just being a bit more mechanical and
totally automated.
Now it's coming back to a bit more of that customer service and customer focus and
the human touch.
And in actual fact, that's important as well. Like, I know with these websites that stock a lot of brands, and so they're just showing product photography of the actual product. A lot of them do seem to miss that human touch in there. Like, if it's a baby brand, have some babies on there, have cute babies that make you feel all warm and fuzzy. Yep, I'll buy that.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so I guess if there's any other pieces of advice you can share with our audience, pop it in now, Narelle. But otherwise, if anyone's looking for a little bit of help, what can people get help with in updating?
Yeah, well, there's probably no more advice except to say that, firstly, I would just jump in and see what that theme update looks like for yourself. Once you download it, it doesn't mean you have to put it live. Just get a sense of what it's going to take for you and whether you can fit that within your time, because you want to get this ready before Black Friday. So if you're not capable of getting it done in time, then reach out. You can reach out to our team. We've got we've got a great development team. So we can do a theme update, or we would probably be pushing a little bit more to say, come on, this is a great opportunity to refresh as well, rather than do the theme update. And probably we'd be asking a lot of questions around, what hasn't worked and things like that in the past, so that we can resolve those for you as well.
Yeah, and I guess just another little shout out for one of our clients, Casey Cottage over in the UK. So we did this for her recently, and she said something along the lines of, this feels like the first grown-up website I've ever had, and she's absolutely thrilled with it. It looks fantastic and the usability is great, but also for her in managing it is also really been a benefit for her, getting a bit more efficient and easy to manage. So it's been a really good experience there.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it is. I am going to make sure that we share the link to the Turbo theme, because that is one that we often do use and recommend. So if anyone needs to have a look at a theme, you can go and have a look at that one. Obviously, there's others that you can choose from as well. If anyone does want a little bit of help and you want to know what options look like, just give us a shout and we will be more than happy to help. But thank you so much for jumping on with me again today. It's been a good little chat about Shopify.
Yes, thank you.
So listeners, thanks for joining us again this week, and I look forward to being back with you on the show again next week. Bye for now.